It's Tuesday night, and there's less than a day until the team leaves for South Carolina. As some team members go home to rest for the 13-hour drive, the rest of the team has its work cut out for it.
And we really have to fine-tune everything and make sure it's good to go, make sure everything's ready to race, make sure everything's polished, bolts are cut, safety wire, nylocks, the whole 9 yards, you know.
The frame was painted black a few days ago, which means the team is assembling the car again. This will last all night. Since this is a custom-made vehicle, not all parts, tubes, and bolts are fitting on the first try. The team is constantly adjusting, sanding, and smoothing parts of the car for the final build before South Carolina. With the successful testing a few nights ago, Nick and Chris are optimistic about the competition.
No, I expect us to do really well. I expect us to definitely get first in acceleration, and we got awesome drivers for maneuverability and S&T, and it's going to be a good showing.
We just need to be ready, and we need to execute, and that's pretty much it. We have the car, we have the talent, we have whatever you want to say. We got it. It's just now going down there, being a team, running. Drivers got to run well. People have to run smart. A lot of things have to go right. There's a little bit of luck involved.
The sun rises over the RIT campus, and the team starts to pack all of its equipment for the race. After a full day of driving, the team arrives at Clemson University. With a day to spare before the strict inspection and the design competition, the team wastes no time. The RIT flag is raised and work begins. Meanwhile, other teams are lining up to claim a pit area. As the cloudy day continues, the line for engine testing gets longer. Every 2 years, a Baja team is given a Briggs & Stratton 10-horsepower engine. Teams can buy motors themselves, but all cars must use this stock engine for competitions. The inspection ensures all of the teams have a regulation motor that runs safely. Then, it starts raining. RIT has yet to have its engine tested, and the dirt pit floor the team is using will soon turn to mud. The team decides to finish work that night. The car may look complete, but the team is going over inspection sheets to make sure nothing is looked over for tomorrow. After a night of work, it's now Friday, the day of the design competition. The team can earn 300 of the competition's 1,000 total points.
Since last year we won design at Alabama, we'd like to win it again. The report part that we had no control over, people read, they grade, and then they decide who's the best. The next part is design, where we have the same judges looking at them.
The written work for the design competition has challenged RIT in the past.
Paperwork has honestly been our downfall. Cost report, design report stuff. We build a great car. We have for years, but it's the 10 points because the paper submission was late. And 10 points is the difference between first and fourth. It could be. The paperwork is something that we've really struggled with. It's kind of like a throwing together at the last minute, let's get it done kind of thing.
Sometimes it's real last minute.
There's been more than one occasion where we got guys in rental vans driving to a race. One's on a printer, one's got it hooked to a laptop. They're trying to get pictures to print out on the highway so we can glue it to our design boards doing 80 miles an hour in Tennessee. You have that. So I wanted to change it this year, and I think it's going to be a hell of a lot better. I think they'll notice the difference.
Before the car gets close to the judging area, it must be inspected.
You got to pass tech, so we're going to try to be in tech really early, get through it as quick as we can.
But the engine test this morning cost RIT valuable time. They push the car to the inspection line and wait for what can be a team's first and biggest challenge of the competition. Tech inspection.
So we'll be racing against 100 schools. We'll see how we get through tech. So my guess is 60. If you don't pass tech, you don't race, point blank. I think they've tried to compile a bunch of rules so that it's safe, fun, and competitive for everybody. At the end of the day, it's an engineering competition, so they want to stress that these are the requirements, this is the box you have to be in.
The team passes inspection without any major problems. Some safety wire in the front of the car must be redone. Safety wire twists around 2 bolts to stop them from loosening due to the car's vibrations. Now the window of time for the design competition is shrinking. The team quickly fixes the safety wire and heads to the judging area. And here it is. RIT's Tiger 1. Finished and polished. One of its design focuses was fitting any driver.
We had a car that had adjustable steering in it, and that was cool. Judges liked it. Well, last year, our new car did not. And it was kind of like, well, the judges loved it, and they got in the car in Wisconsin, and we got killed in design because there's no adjustability to the car. Well, we heard that, we took it to heart. You know, we have the adjustable pedal set up, all the carbon fiber in the pedals. You know, I guarantee you, no one else had it this year.
I mean, this year I think the adjustable pedals and the whole adjustability around the driver is going to go a long way, along with the difference between the semi-trailing and the trailing arm car from 2 years ago.
The second design focus is increasing reliability in the rear suspension.
But the difference between the trailing arm and the semi-trailing arm is the way that the arms move.
The rear suspension's semi-trailing arm improves the car's handling around tight turns. Tiger 1's CV shaft, or constant velocity shaft, transfers power from the engine to the wheels.
The trailing arm on the older car is in one plane. It moves up and down, that's all you got. With a semi-trailing arm, because it's mounted on an axis that's not parallel with the back of the firewall, it's going to move in an arc. Because you can create that arc, that outer joint of that CV is getting closer and further away and closer again to that inner CV. We wanted to make sure we could run a solid shaft this year. Because we had in Oregon, we had problems with slip shafts pulling out. Because they're slip shafts, if say it falls out of the box, it's pulled out of the box, then that slip shaft comes apart and you left half your shaft in the track.
Actually, you know, one of the races we were out for an hour because they pulled out.
So if you have a CV that's fixed in the box, fixed in the hubs, you ain't gonna go anywhere.
But now, you know, we have a much stronger solution, a more reliable solution. I think it's going to work out well.
The final round of judges examine the car, and the team is hopeful of making it into the design finals.
If you finish in the top 10 design and you go to the design finals, it's like the playoffs for design. Last year we were chosen for the design finals in Alabama. We ended up finishing second to Cornell. So that was kind of a kick in the pants. So we're like, oh, we kind of want to be first, you know. We were so close. And so this year I think, you know, I don't see why we couldn't win design without a doubt in my mind. I mean, last year we did it with a duct tape board and pictures. Now we're going to have something more professional.
That evening, the orange and black car lines up with the 3 other design finalists. The other teams are ETS, an engineering school from Montreal, Canada, Centro Universitario de FEI from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and the University of Maryland, College Park. The teams give their final presentations to the judges and wait for the results. The team places third in the design finals. UMCP takes second and FEI claims first. The FEI car has a solar-powered battery and safety features that stop the car from starting if there is no brake fluid and unfastened safety harnesses. The team heads back to the pit to fine-tune Tiger 1 for tomorrow's Dynamic Day challenges. It's 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Today, the engineering and design of each car is physically tested. The 75-point challenges facing Tiger 1 are acceleration, sled pull, suspension and traction, and maneuverability. From testing the car before the competition, the team feels prepared for the acceleration challenge. Out of its 2 heats, Tiger 1's best was 5.097 seconds, placing it in 11th with almost 65 points. The next event is sled pull. And this time it's not a sled. Instead, it's a 5,000-pound BMW X6.
Traditionally, we're not a very good pulling team. That's because we want to have our top end for Excel, maneuverability, S&T, and endurance. We got to choose our battles, and so we'd rather have a slower sled pull than a slower endurance.
The quickest pull was 8.9 seconds. Tiger 1 makes 2 attempts, and the fastest is 10.28 seconds for 11th place and nearly 65 points. The team now starts tuning the car for maneuverability. The maneuverability track is a tangle of yellow tape in the woods. It's an average 68 inches wide, 4 inches wider than the maximum width of a Baja car. With a 180-degree turn, the course is claiming cars left and right. For some, half the time is spent under manpower. Tiger 1 makes its first attempt, and it ends the first run in 98.19 seconds. With tens of seconds behind the lead time, RIT decides to hold off on the second heat. The team tunes the car for the suspension and traction event.